What's up, everyone? It's the God, Young Montu-Ra, and welcome to Montu-Ra, the podcast, where I talk about the good, the bad, and the downright dirty of music, business, and spirituality. What's up, my gods and goddesses? We are back again, episode 7, Montu-Ra, the podcast. Thank you, everybody, for joining on today. Now we got to talk about this weekly cosmic forecast. Happy Juneteenth to everybody out there as well. Again, a lot to break down. This is retrograde season we are in. It's time to recalculate, reevaluate, and even renegotiate our life and our circumstances. But without further ado, we still have the sun in Gemini as we get ready for this summer solstice. I'm going to do a whole nother podcast on that. But as we wind down this Gemini season, it has helped us to be more sociable, more intellectual. I do see it being somewhat of helping us to be more curious under this influence, right? But at the same time, it's giving us the energy of being scattered at times too. I did suggest prior to just kind of get that, get everything kind of situated with our schedule, start to continue to be even more optimistic and observant as well. So this energy, this air of Gemini was helping us to be more adaptable in a lot of different situations. We did talk about this previously. Obviously, we're doing the weekly cosmic forecast, but this cycle of Gemini was benefiting us in preparation for trading, sharing, exchanging a lot of ideas, passing on different news with one another, and teaching us to be able to listen as well as to speak our truth. But now, as the sun is going to enter into Cancer on June 21st, this is going to help us to be more protective under this influence, right? Our attention is going to turn to our families, our homes, and anything that might make us feel at home or safe and secure. So nurturing is going to be a big deal, caring for the ones we love, and also caring for ourselves as well. But our emotions are going to run deep during this period. We're going to be easily tuned in, or I like to say tapped into the world of feelings, because this is the energy of the moon as well. Remember, we're talking about, Cancer season. The sun is there. The ruler of Cancer is the moon, right? So we're going to have both of these energies in Cancer, but at the same time, we may not want to face some responsibilities on the outside world during this cycle. So I would say maybe watch for some like dependence on different things or people. However, this is a great transit for recognizing our needs of comfort, safety, and familiarity as well. So I do see us being more inclined to form strong bonds and protect our loved ones. Epic. Um, so that this is a great start of this week, summer solstice season. We should be getting excited. This next 6 months is going to be epic for all of us as we continue to watch these different transits and these stars move. Mercury is still in Gemini until about the 26th. So Mercury is speeding up fast. And while it's still in Gemini, like I said, this is helping us to continue our communication. We just had that new moon in Gemini. So this energy is helping us to be more curious as well. Like we said, we might take more pleasure in gaining real knowledge and not the superficial knowledge or the outside world's knowledge. I tell everybody, do your own research, tap in with your God and Goddess self, and then you can justify the outside world on however you feel, right? So I do see us digging deeper into maybe our spirituality, maybe something that any type of information related to kind of how you feel or what you're going through. I do see a lot of us tapping deeper into those rabbit holes. But this is helping us to like I talked about with the sun in Gemini, but this Mercury in Gemini is going to help us to be more communicative with our truth, like being able to debate on a respectable manner, right? No insults, but being able to have a clear conversation to gain understanding. So we might be attracted to wordplay. Like I said, negotiation is going to be very good at this time. But we can also be easily distracted. We're still talking about the Gemini energy. We're still talking about being scatterbrained. We're still talking about having a lot of ideas at once. And I'm gonna say it again: get that daggone journal out, get that pen and pad out, and just write down some different things so we can just get it off of our mind, right? But this is a lot of information that's coming that might be coming in like little tidbits or maybe just from our observations of things that we might be going through. So I will say kind of detach as best as we can while this energy is still in Gemini, because our mind is going to change frequently, right? That's just the energy. But at the same time, it's about being flexible and us being able to quickly grasp different topics. So, we got different poles of it. We got the yin and the yang with this energy, but at the same time, some very good points to keep in mind. Venus is still in Leo. This transit is going to be longer because the retrograde of Venus will be around July 22nd. So we're still following this path with this goddess energy, with this Isis energy in Leo. This is going to be great for a lot of us because the love is in the air, especially in Leo. So we're going to take pride in our love, right? We talked about this before, but this is going to help us to be more generous with our money, going to be more warm hearted, maybe even expressive of our feelings of our love and how we want others to understand our love for them as well and for ourselves, right? But um, sometimes Venus and Leo can get forever stuck in like this romance stage of a relationship because we're feeding off this attention, acknowledgement, maybe wanting that validation, and this is a great time for us to, like I said, um, share ourselves with others, but also to be pampered by ourselves, right? To admire ourselves, because pride and passion are the hallmarks of this cycle. So we have a strong ego investment in our love lives during this period. I would say the negative expression of this placement is overstating our feelings, just because, right? Just stating stuff just for the fact of talking, right? So this cycle has a strong it's very strong for maybe like I talked about before, like contests, lotteries, parties, recreation, and drama. You know what I'm gonna say? Save the drama for yo mama. But with this transit's gonna be here till about October 8th, so we have some time to kind of um, get all our desires to stand out and to feel remarkable during this transit because this is a special time. Obviously, we have Mars in Leo as well. We're going to talk about that now. But, with Leo, we got the God, we got the goddess, excuse me, we got the God and goddess in Leo. This is a very potent time for all of us. But this Mars energy is continually to help us feel proud, right? Self confident. We're feeling grand right now. Because this is giving us that lively spirit because we want to chase after these goals now. We really have everything we need. We have the summer solstice coming. We got the sun's going to be in Cancer, right? We still have Mercury's in Gemini. Like we still have all the elements that need to be there. And of course, we have Jupiter in Taurus. So this is something that I feel like Mars is able to really navigate in this Leo manner, right? Because this is helping us to be self assured, right? We're desiring the dramatic results. We want it all here during this period. And I will say that maybe not, um, worrying about the details of a lot of different things, maybe taking the least complicated route to our goals, the path of least resistance, if at all possible. But I do see this energy in Leo with Mars is awakening our competitive spirit and drive. Get out of the way, get in or get out. Because we're gonna turn it up to the max, and I can feel that in my own personal life. We're just trying to get it in daily. So maybe we're more willing to take these risks now that we weren't in the past, right? because this is going to help us to make that splash in our life. Like I said, getting in the driver's seat. We're not taking anybody that doesn't want to go type energy, but we are in the fast lane. So this is helping us to be, like I said, more passionate and even dramatic. We us Leos like to we 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 go off the drama, as well as wanting to make that huge splash in our own life and others as well in the most positive ways. So, like I said, we might appear um, to be stronger as well. Let's not take this for being arrogant or our ego taking the center, is what I'm not trying to say. But we are the center of attention, and that goes for all of us. We are the stars of the show, and I believe Mars and Leo is helping us to understand that as well. Next, we have Jupiter is still in Taurus, like we talked about before. This is going to be Jupiter's going to be in Taurus till about May 25th, 2024. So we have some time. This is definitely helping us to expand our awareness and our needs to establish ourselves and to build upon what we have and what we own, right? We're talking that Taurus energy is still there. So it's going to encourage us to embrace our needs for comfort, security, grounding, stability, collecting and providing for ourselves. So during this cycle, you know, maybe we're not as risky as we would like to be because we're trying to find the direction. We're clearing out for our goals, right? We are having these plans to make things more tangible. So when we're talking about these different planets and these different transits, it's putting everything together. So some of us may be in different situations where we have everything together. Now we need that Mars energy to give us that action. Oh, maybe we have our game plan, but we don't feel the love of our journey. That's where we need that Venus energy, right? So we're trying to use on it depending on our life circumstances. But more specifically, with Jupiter in Taurus, we attract the most good fortune right now. We are steady workers, maybe being more charitable, maybe generous, and also helping us to be patient as well, because Jupiter is going to expand whatever we do, especially right now with it being in Taurus. Like I talked about before, if we're talking lack or thinking lack, it's going to expand lack. It's going to have us to feel it even more. So we're going to try our best to continue to think and act in regards to abundance and knowing there is more than enough. I have more than enough. You have more than enough. There's so much abundance out there that the Most High wants us to tap in. And sometimes that's easier said than done. But if we just look outside, it's so many trees, it's so many bees, it's so much of everything that we can definitely benefit us as well. So long-term financial investments, I do see this being very favorable in this next year. And a strong self-image of our feelings or self-worth are going to contribute to our success. I know when I look good, I just feel good, right? And that goes for a lot of us. Next, we have this Saturn energy. Saturn retrograde just started on the 17th. And I do see this obviously with Pluto retrograde. Now we have Saturn retrograde. We're going to have Neptune retrograde at the end of this month. So, what does that mean with the retrograde in Pisces now? I mean, Saturn wants us to uphold the status quo, keep things in line. I like to say keeps us in check. So, Saturn does rule Capricorn, which craves that achievement. Remember, I love my Capricorns. It's all about hard work, it's all about that social status. But with us having that understanding, we want to get things done at this point in life, right? We're all trying to finalize our schedules or maybe reschedule things or put everything in order. But I do think this retrograde experience is going to, like I said, have us reworking things, reevaluating, reorganizing. We're going to do all the re's with this Saturn energy because now we want to get more disciplined. That work ethic, the sense of our own authority is going to be of the utmost importance because we want to achieve, we want to accomplish for our future goals. And I do see this Saturn retrograde maybe want us to rebel and question authority. And that's a great thing, right? We want to rebel against the bullshit. This is a great period for all of us to kind of tap into what we believe in when what we think is true. You might hear a bird chirping out there. And that's a great sound right now. But we may look at the establishment and kind of see what it really stands for. Why do we might ask ourselves, like, why do things have to be this way, right? Are we being bold enough? Perhaps we're even asking ourselves these questions like, how do I change, right? How do I change myself? How do I change my outside world during this Saturn retrograde? So remember, Saturn entered Pisces March 7th of this year. So it's literally going to take us back to parts of our chart even that we need to um, kind of think about, right? What is vibrating through our psyche and reminding us of some different experiences that we have? I would say um, we do not have to rehash the things of simplicity with this Saturn energy, right? This is going to return us to the beginning of Pisces, and this is a time when we are getting a different perspective on the last few months. So Saturn in Pisces might be a tough time, particularly when something or someone we strongly felt was real and reliable and is no longer there in our life. So we can also look at the other side and see this time as when we bring this Pisces energy to things like dreams and fantasies to fruition, right? So this is a great time for us with this retrograde to take the time to reflect on our dreams, our goals, like we said before. And here are a quick few questions that we might think about or might actually come up in our life. Is like, how can I enact limits and boundaries in my life, right? Sometimes, and I feel like I talked about this probably on my stream as well, but it's like setting those boundaries so we can be the best that we can be to bring value to others, but also not putting ourselves in a box. That boundary of saying, oh, I'm limited, right? So those are the questions that we might ask ourselves. And another question is, are the hobbies and activities we've been doing or I've been doing healthy outlets for me? Are they hurting me? Right? Is what I'm doing, am I taking advantage of my time? Am I doing things that are benefiting me? Are the people around me benefiting me? Am I benefiting them? Right? So those questions we're going to ask during this retrograde period. And can I find more purpose and pride in my work? Ooh, I love that. That's just epic. This is something that I'm going to talk about a bit more. We'll probably do a whole breakdown on Saturn with the entire horoscope as well. So, like I said, for instance, what is the point of creating something lasting if nothing lasts forever? Ooh, that's another point. So the overall goal, as I'm saying, is try not to obsess over every little minor detail in life. Maybe this is a great time for us to kind of let loose a little bit. Remember, Saturn is trying to force us to set limitations or to keep us in check. Now I think it's time how we use this energy is to maybe go with the flow a little bit if we can. Maybe that might take the pressure off of us and that might let the great things come in. Um, and maybe that might help us to be more relaxed during this retrograde period. So Uranus is still in Taurus till about uh, 2025, 2026. Like I said, this is a huge time for us and our money matters. So it's, we talked about Jupiter in Taurus. So we're going to continue to approach our money and personal possessions in new ways and learn to free ourselves from certain material constraints. Innovative ways to make ourselves comfortable are going to start to emerge, or maybe they already have. But I do see self love, body love, and pampering something that we all kind of need to take advantage of. Above all, though, we're challenging what we previously valued during this cycle. There can be abrupt changes with our money, valuables, possessions, income, and lead to a reshuffling of our priorities or values. Remember that Uranus energy, expect the unexpected. Anything is possible, especially with Uranus is in Taurus with our finances and resources. So income might come from non-traditional sources or ventures. In general, I do believe we're bringing a progressiveness to our ideas to the world of business. New ways of doing business as well as making, viewing, and handling money are likely. So our income and the energy we put into making money can be super valuable during this period here. So definitely take that um, with a grain of salt as well, but also know that this is a very great time for us to, like I said, look at our finances and make sure we are where we want to be or headed in the direction of the business or job or career that we want to be in. Neptune in Pisces. Remember, I said Neptune is going to retrograde on June 30th. So we're getting in this Pisces energy, the unconscious, the subconscious, the unknown. And this is going to give us that unique form of sight, right? We're going to be focused on emotion, and our spirit is going to merge with this energy of Neptune, right? So it's going to unify all things, I believe, and give us more clarity from the fog, shedding light on our own contradictions. You know, even in my personal life, I'm a walking contradiction. And at the end of the day, sometimes we all are, is because now we have like sudden moments of clarity. Different things like I said, no day is the same. And we're always trying to figure it out, even though yesterday we might have said this, but then we got some type of understanding or got some type of download that helped us to get that clarification. So that is something that I feel like Neptune, especially when it goes retrograde, is going to help us. But the value of coming together is going to shine like gold for a lot of us, and the path to wholeness is going to be illuminated. I love that. So this transit calls us to look at uh, what everyone we're around or what we can contribute towards the collective progress and healing, because we all have gifts, we all have something to bring to the table, we all have a purpose here. And sometimes we get in situations where we don't know what we're going to do and how we're going to get there, but I do feel like the Most High gives us an abundance of things that we have to do in this lifetime and maybe the next lifetime or maybe our past life. We're still working towards all the things that we are supposed to do here. So I will say for everybody, the dreams, dream big now. Do exactly what you feel is best and what the Most High is telling you to do. And it's probably going to be epic. So Neptune in Pisces is an invitation to explore our emotional intelligence for our own unique offerings. This is a perfect time to take a course, in our spiritual path that calls to us, or to create an altar, create some type of sacred space in your home to connect with maybe your ancestors, connect with your God or goddess, connect with your internal spirit, connect with with Mother Nature, however that, whatever that means to you. I do suggest we make that altar, especially during this retrograde period, so we can reconnect with spirit. Next, we have Pluto. Pluto is retrograde. We talked about that a lot right now, but this is gonna, with it being back into Capricorn, making us a bit relentless and maybe even restless to a degree, because Capricorn's energy is about work, putting in the work, right? But we have Pluto there, so we need to look at the deeper aspects of ourselves and our aspirations, right? We are all experiencing a drawn out revelation of our personal truth. So I do see this having something to do with our evolution, right? We're challenging ourselves or getting challenged to push past our fear-based limitations. I cannot say that enough, uh, because this is something that we've all kind of experienced. Moving past the fear, bypassing the bullshit, knowing that we can have whatever we desire. And I feel like once we turn on that TV, once we turn on the internet, once we see the limits that are trying to be placed upon everybody's psyche, I do see us using that energy to remove the veil and knowing that everything is actually from the Most High. So we're trying to use this energy to harmonize with our spiritual nature of Neptune throughout this retrograde, reminding us that we can trust our intuition. We can trust, like I said before, those daggone spidey senses. So I appreciate everybody for tapping in. That is the weekly cosmic forecast of June 19th to June 25th. Happy Juneteenth to everybody out there. Much love to everybody. And You know I don't like to beat a dead horse, but I love to hear myself talk. It's the God, Young Montu-Ra, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.